There is a lot that goes into creating a website. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my process so that if you are feeling overwhelmed on where to start, not sure what to do first or next, then hopefully this video will walk you through how to keep going with your project and get started. So I have a Google Doc here up, as you can see. This is the process that I use for all of my clients. I have been designing websites for 8 years now. I am a Squarespace expert, Squarespace authorized trainer. I have designed over 250 Squarespace websites for clients, so I've got my process nailed down, and I want to share it with you so you can either walk through it with me or use this on your own terms. So first things first, you have to come up with some decisions and some goals for your website before you just dive in creating and putting things together. So you can see here in this document, I start with an onboarding section. Now, if you're working with me, that includes going through the proposal and the contract and the deposit and all of that. Once that is done, you will get access to a shared Google Drive folder, which this document will be in. I will ask you if you have any specific website goals, if you have any website inspiration, any websites that you already like. Let's pull those all together here in this document. If you are using any integrations for your website, so maybe you have like a third-party email marketing platform, a ticketing platform, whatever that might be, we'll need to get those all pulled together, get access to me for that, as well as for your domain name. While that might not be something we do until the very end, a lot of times I've found that people don't know where their domain name lives, or we have to get things organized or moved or transferred or whatever that might be. It's different in every case, so I put it at the very front of the process because sometimes it could hold things up at the end, and I want to avoid that. The last thing here in this onboarding step is to prep your site content. So as a website designer, I can't start designing anything until I have your photos and your logo and your text copy for your pages. So before we actually start the timeline, before we get started, I need you to start working on pulling all those things together and start writing all of your content so that when we do get started, as you will see in the next step, that is what we will start with. So week one, as you can see here, is basically you giving me all of your branding, all of your assets, all of your copy, and us putting it all together here in Google Drive. We can go through it together, make sure I have everything I need. If you want an extra set of eyes on your copy, then I have someone on my team that can help you do that. Just read through your copy, give you any like basic feedback and suggestions for your copy to make it the best as we possibly can for your website. We can go through that. Once I get all of that, we get your final approval on the copy. You sign off, say, yes, this is what I want on my website. Then in week two, I will start designing. And I always start designing just the homepage. I don't dive in and just try to do everything at once. I do just the homepage because I want to make sure that what I'm doing is in line with what you have in mind. So I will design and deliver the homepage to you and then get your feedback. And as you can see here in week three, if you think we need a call, if it's just easier to give me your feedback on a Zoom call, go through it in real time, then we can do that together. But I will make the homepage edits based on your feedback, get your final approval, and then also in week three, once the final approval on the homepage is done, I will dive into designing the rest of the pages on your website. And I do this because I want to do it with what we've created on the homepage and keep that consistent throughout your website. So once we lock in the homepage, you give me approval, then I will continue with the rest of the pages on your website. And honestly, that part of the process goes pretty quickly. It's the homepage that takes the time. Once we clarify what we really want to do there, then the rest of the pages just kind of fall into place naturally. So I know that sounds like a lot to just design the whole rest of the site at one time, but I promise that part actually, that's kind of the easiest part of the process for me at least. After that, the final week 4, again, if you want to do edits to review things together on Zoom, we can do that. I'll get your full site feedback, do the edits, get your approval. You have a second payment. That will be done before we go live. I will give you admin access to the site so you can upgrade the Squarespace account from just the free trial to a paid plan, which is hosting for your website, which you have to have in order to have a live website. I will connect your domain name. So with that domain name access you've given me, I will connect it to your site and your website will go live. And that is the quick rundown of how I go through a website design process. You can see here in my chart the completion date, like for week one, like let's say we're going to have this done on July 1st. I'll go through and mark that if you're working with me, and we can keep tabs here like this is happening, this is in progress, or this is complete, it's ready for the website. We can go through and keep tabs of where we are in this document as we go. If we scroll down here to this next chart in our document, you will see I have a website branding section. Now, remember, week one is all about you providing me with your assets. So this is just kind of a checklist to mark off what we have and put it all into one simple chart. So if you have a logo, I'll mark yes, you have a logo, or no logo. And you can see here, add that to our separate photo and logo files folder. And the main reason for that is because Google Docs doesn't let me save images or graphics from a document. So I just ask you to put them in the photo and logos folder that you will see in our shared folder. If you have a logo, great. If not, we're just going to use your heading font choice as your logo on your site. And this is totally fine. I do not think in this day and age that you have to have a intricate, detailed logo in order to have a successful brand online. So do not stress if we're checking no logo for you. The next thing is your color palette. Maybe you already have a color palette defined, or maybe you don't. If you don't, that is also totally fine. I will just take the main image that you want to feature at the top of your homepage. Or if you do have a logo, I will take your logo and I will pull colors to create a color palette for you directly from those elements so that everything is cohesive and on brand. The next thing, as you can see, is your font pairing. We will pick 2 fonts for your site. We don't want to make things too overwhelming with fonts. I always say the simpler the better with fonts. We want to make things easy to read. We don't want to use all these quirky fonts that look cool, because then it's hard to read and people don't want to read things if they're hard to read. So we'll pick 2 fonts, one for your headings and one for your body, like the paragraphs. And then finally here is the checkbox for your photos. Any photos that you have that you want to use, add those to the photo and logo file folder. And I would like to stress here that while yes, the iPhone or whatever smartphone you might have can take great photos these days, if you really want your website to stand out and be professional, I recommend professional photos. And for websites, photos that are going to be horizontal are going to be best. Vertical is not going to be great. And scrolling down here, we're getting to the end of my document. We have the website pages and content section. Now up here, it says link coming soon. I will put the link to the Squarespace website that I'm working on for you right here with the password for you to preview it. And then depending on what pages you've picked out for your website, maybe like whatever that's going to be, your chart will look like this for your website pages. And then once I actually start on that page, I'll put the link in here for you to go see that directly as well. This is just the chart of your page navigation, so we can be on the same page, know what we're creating together. And again, just make sure you put those images and files into the photos and logo files, not into this actual document here. This document here, I just want you to take whatever pages you have up here in our chart, notate them down here, and then put whatever text copy you want on those pages in this document. And if you are looking at this and you're like, that is a blank page, Catherine, I have no idea what to put on my homepage, like where do I even start? Let me help you. I've recently created a new tool for this. If you go to designingtheroad.com/free, put your name and email in here, go check your email. I will send you a link to a tool. It's a GPT tool. It'll ask you a few questions, and then it will spit out a homepage copy draft for you. Basically, it's like picking my brain, like, Catherine, what do I put on my website? How do I structure my homepage? How do I do SEO? How do I do all these things? I've built a GPT tool with all of the stuff in my head so that you can just answer a few questions about your brand and business, and everything from my head will download into creating website homepage copy for you. So go use this tool. It is free. It will get you a draft that you can then work with instead of having a blank page to just stare at, because I know that is very intimidating. Like, what do you even put on your homepage? So designingtheroad.com/free will get you started. And then whichever pages that you have decided on for your website, put that here, and then just drop in your about bio here. If you have a services page, type out your service titles, your descriptions, whatever needs to go on each page as far as the text copy, put that in the document right here. And after you do that, that's pretty much getting you through what you have to deliver to me for week 1. After that, it's really my job to take over and do the design work and send things to you just to give me feedback, whether that's through email or through Zoom calls. We'll do it that way and continue our communication that way. So this is my process for creating a website from zero to launch. If you have any questions for me, leave those in the comments, or if you're working with me, shoot me an email, and I will see you in the next video. Again, designingtherow.com/free to get started on that homepage copy for you.